friends, welcome to another episode of The Eventful Life. So excited to be back with you guys, and boy do I have some a treat in store for you. Actually, it's something a little shiny, a little dazzly, and I think it's just right in time for the holidays. So yes. I'm here with India of Shining Souls, and I love that name, by the way.
Thank you.
And she's going to tell you a little bit about what she does. It's fabulous, and it's right here in front of me. And I don't even know if you guys are ready, but let's just take a look. Yes, and you see she's got the headphones on. So, honey, she blings out everything. Okay, this is the bling queen. And I'm so excited to just share. She's also a wonderful mompreneur, and I'm just so excited to bring her on to the Eventful Life today so that we can talk a little bit about her business and family life, how she's been able to do it all. So let's start with just how you even got into, blinging stuff out. Look at these shoes, guys. Like, look, you can't have them. They're already spoken for.
Yes, they're mine. They're my shoes, no. The shoes, that's how I got started. Just watching TV, seeing Jennifer Lopez with a pair of just dazzling from tip to toe shoes.
Wow.
And just wanting a pair myself.
Yes.
Doing the research and finding they were $5,000. $5,000 or $6,000. $5,000 or $6,000. And my husband saying, no, we're not doing that. And me insisting that I really needed them.
Right.
Only to find
we need shoes.
Yeah, I needed
Everybody
them.
needs a pair of shoes.
I needed them. But to my disappointment, not surprised, I have long feet, so they didn't even have any available to sell me if I wanted to.
Oh, wow.
So I was just determined, and I'm like, I'm going to figure out how to get my own pair, and it ended up being me making my own pair.
Wow.
And it just snowballed from 1 pair to 2 to 10 to 15.
Oh my gosh.
And then everyone noticing, where did you get your shoes? No, I made them. Like, really? You made them?
Right. Because I would say the same thing. Like, literally, if you walked into the office and I saw you with these on, I'd be like,
yeah, where
did you get these? Because these look like straight out of Nordstrom.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
And really, the handmade versions are much better than the ones you can find in stores. Because
I'm sure.
Artists tend to use more rhinestones. If you look at any shoes in any department store, at any department store with stones on, any like clothing or shoes, they use rhinestones, but not as many.
Wow. So
you're going to get more bang for your buck and more sparkle if you go with, an artisan or someone that actually does it by hand.
Yeah, I love that.
So it just kind of just snowballed into one coworker asking me to do a pair of shoes, and another coworker, and I had a YouTube channel at the time where I was just showing people, how to do it.
Right. And how did you figure out how to do
lots
this?
Of research.
When
I say lot, I went to the University of Google.
Well, okay, I love that. University of Google. I
went to Google University, and I researched. I don't think people understand. I did a lot of research. There are so many different types of rhinestones.
Wow.
There's pointy back, flat backs, sew-ins, hot fix, which is there's already a glue on the back of them that you have to heat apply. There's different.
So there's like a whole
world. There's a world. There's different
rhinestoneology.
Shapes. There's different shapes. There's different coatings. There's different shimmers. There's different brands. You got some from Korea, some from Austria, some from China.
Oh wow.
There's just a whole host of. Then that's just the rhinestones, and then you have your different glues.
Oh my gosh.
And so I have about 6 or 7 glues that I keep on hand.
Right.
Depending on the material. Some materials you can add stones to. Some materials you just can't.
Wow. Okay. So you did
So there's a lot of research.
Officially dived into this, which I think is awesome.
And I experimented on my personal items first.
Okay.
I never went into this with the intention of making it a business. It strictly was a hobby.
Wow.
It strictly was a hobby for me and for my little girls.
Okay.
That I would just do things for them and
Something
for myself, just for us. I never I didn't even realize it was something people would pay for.
Right. Wow.
It literally was just something I was just doing for myself. And I always tell people I basically was dragged into this business because people...
Now, what do you mean by that?
When I started my YouTube channel, I did that strictly because YouTube is like a how-to, how to do this. How to do stuff. And so I was just showing people what little I feel like at that time I thought I knew a lot. What little I knew then.
Hey, little did you know.
Little did I know. But, and I'm assuming if you're watching my YouTube, like you want to learn how to do it yourself.
Right.
But oftentimes I forget people watch things that they have no intention of doing.
They just want to see.
They just want to see what you're doing.
Right.
And so I started getting emails and requests from people saying like, "That's really cute. I tried. I failed.
Oh my God.
Can you do it for me? Can you do it for me? How much would you charge for my shoes?"
Wow.
And that's when I had to step back and say like, oh, like I don't even...
Like this is a legit...
I didn't even know what to charge. I never even thought about it that way.
Right.
And so then I had to do more research, like, because before I'm just buying a giant bag of rhinestones and just working away. And so now I'm thinking like, I have to know how many I'm using.
Right.
I need to know how much I'm doing.
Make each product, piece. Like a cup like this. I mean, look at this, guys. And you have to see the detail around the top of this cup. So, I mean, this can't be cheap because you got a lot of detail going on here around the middle of the cup here.
The cup itself. The cup itself.
Right.
Because I mean, most people like Starbucks cups.
Exactly.
And so you have to use a Starbucks cup for most people because that's what they're expecting.
Right.
So I had to do the research and figured it out. And so one sale turned into 2, turned into 10.
And it started growing.
And it grew. And I was still working full time.
Wow.
At that time, I had 2 children.
Okay.
And I was working full time, and this was strictly like after work because I would only take like an order here, order there.
Okay, so you were managing.
And it was pretty easy
based on
your
schedule.
And then it started to grow and grow, but I was purposefully kind of like pushing people back.
Okay.
And only accepting so many orders at a time. Because I really thought I was going to be in corporate America, was an accountant / financial analyst. And,
wow. So you had a good career like going on.
Right.
Good paying career, one that you knew you could make a lot of money with.
Right.
So what was the pivotal moments that that defining moment when it was like, okay, I've got to make a decision?
My husband changed careers that required that he be gone.
Okay.
All the time. He travels a lot.
Okay.
And so, and I was pregnant with our 3rd child.
Okay, so by now you've got the first 2, which how old were they at that time?
Probably 4 and 8. They were young. And so my husband switched careers, like a severe career change where he was home every day to like, I'm gone like 5 days a week.
Wow. Like 90% of the time.
90% of the time he's gone. I had moved up so much in my position where they're looking at me, when your salary, like, we don't want you to work 40 hours, we want you to work 60 hours.
Right. Yes. When you go from that hourly to salary.
We want you to work 70 hours,
Right.
Like,
and they know they don't have to pay you any extra.
Yeah. You got kids. You pregnant. We don't care.
It's okay.
We don't care.
Work yourself to the bone.
Right. And so it was, I'm pregnant with the 3rd one and he's not going to be around. How am I going to manage that type of commitment to that job?
Right.
And so I remember sitting down with my husband and saying like, I don't know how I can make that career work with your career. Because being a mom was important to me. Right. I don't want to pay other people to raise my kids.
Right.
So for me, that was the pivotal moment, and I knew like I need to figure out how to raise my own kids,
right?
Instead of like throwing them in before care, after care,
sure.
Because that's where they would have been,
right? And I love the fact that that was your motivation. Like, I don't want other people to raise my kids. Because I think as a mompreneur, and for some of you out there, you may have had this struggle as well. Like, do I pick the road of, hey, my kids are going to have to go to, daycare or before care, after care? Or if I have that option, do I, figure out a way that I can be available to them? And that's what a lot of time drives us to mompreneurship, because it gives us that
the freedom and the flexibility.
Yes.
And so I think I probably had an order that I was fulfilling, and I'm like, I wonder if I went full time, if I could make this work.
Right.
And so I went on maternity leave, and literally, I think like the day after I had my son, or after I came home from the hospital, got on my computer, bought a domain name, got a website, bought business cards. Like,
you coming home from the hospital with a new baby.
Yeah.
New baby. Like, she is like straight from the hospital, just pushed this baby out, and she's like, I'm getting ready to set up my business.
Right. I'm going to set up my business. And I had I had 12 weeks and I'm like, I have these 12 weeks before I need to go back, and I need to figure out if I can figure it out. I need these 3 months to figure out if I'm going back to work or not.
Right.
And literally, like, by the end of it, I, had let HR know that I wasn't coming back.
Wow.
That I was going to stay with my kids.
You were done.
And so I was done. And literally, it always amazes me, because for me, I know I'm always unnecessary. Well, I used to be, not so much anymore. Used to be like, what if this is my last commission?
Right.
What if no one ever emails me?
So you think
ever
like
again?
The worst versus
right.
what could, like, the good, the positive. You would think about, like, what's the worst case scenario?
I'm always the worst case scenario. Because you got to prepare for the worst, not the best.
Right.
For me, I prepare for the worst. And if I can figure out the worst,
right, then you're like,
I'm
good.
I'm good. Everything is a cakewalk if I can figure out the worst.
I love it.
So I always had that, man, what if I don't get another one? What if I don't get another one? And then I'm going to have to go back to work,
Right.
Because I need to figure this out. And it just never happened.
That never happened.
It never happened. And my processing time went from like a week to 2 weeks to 3. Now it's like 4 or 5 weeks.
Wow.
During the holidays, it's 6 weeks. Sometimes 7, depending on what I'm doing, and so, because I have right that many orders.
Yeah, right now you're probably like slammed.
Yeah.
With orders for the holiday time, and guys, rightfully so, because who wouldn't want something beautiful and blinging like this for the holidays? Okay, so I already know. My audiences out there, the wheels are turning, and they're thinking about, okay, so Janelle, you just said it's the holidays, and you're showing us all this fabulous stuff. So how do we get our hands on this stuff? That's coming, guys. Just hold on, okay? So gotta hang in there. You gotta stay with us. So so as your business is growing, you got 3 kids. You made this jump, this leap of faith.
Yeah.
How did you, because now the orders are rolling in, how did you manage all of this, and just making sure with a new baby, your orders are growing, business is growing. How are you managing everything? I am very organized, and I do credit my background as an accountant, because I have spreadsheets for everything. I'm sure. I was about to say, I'm sure she got a spreadsheet for every
I have a
process.
Spreadsheet for everything. And so, because it helped you. It helps me.
Business.
I try not to rely on my memory ever. So everything is written down. Every order is written down. The day I take it in, what they want, if they paid the deposit, if they paid in full, when I need to ship it out. Did I ship it? Did I hand deliver it?
That's awesome.
I needed something to keep track of everything.
Right. So that you know.
So that
exactly
I know
where things are.
Where everything is. And for me, that helped tremendously to keep that part organized, at least. As the kids have gotten older, it's become a little more difficult, because my oldest, runs track.
Different schedules.
For school, AAU track, and the fall, which is starting up now, in the spring and in the summer.
Right.
My son does Little League baseball and soccer and, you know, all these other things. And, you know, you have dental appointments and doctor appointments.
So you got all the things that you're trying to
because now it's all on me because my husband travels even more. So I have really had to, you know, really try to figure out how do I balance everything. And sometimes that means I work till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Yeah. To get the job done.
To get it done.
Yeah.
I just have to do that. Sometimes get up at 5, 6 o'clock and then I'm literally up till midnight, 1 o'clock.
Yeah. And sometimes we do that. You know, I know I say all the time, like, I get my best work done when the house is quiet and everybody's asleep. I can bang out work like no other because it's uninterrupted, you know? And I won't do that every day because God knows you can't operate off of 4 hours of sleep for
not long term.
Time. Right. But if I got to do it occasionally, then to get, you know,
to get everything
done, then that's what I do. So I imagine you have days like that too. Do you have processes or are there any tools that have really helped you, especially as the kids have, you know, have gotten their own different schedules going on? What do you use any type of tools that have helped you to kind of keep those things straight?
I was using, it was called To Do. It's an app.
Okay.
Where it keeps track of your tasks. You can program, you know, whatever your deadlines are. You can even put like personal appointments and whatnot in there to do. I haven't since used that as much anymore. Just because as time went on, I've gotten better at tracking everything. So now I just use my calendar on my phone. Like I just religiously tack everything in there.
I live by the calendar.
And I mean, you can see with my refrigerator, I always keep those doctor slips and dental slips.
Yes.
Whoever has the next appointment, I keep it right there. So I literally can look at like, oh, he has a dental appointment on the 3rd. Like, so now I know, you know, what to make sure like for the doctor's appointments. And then I use, you know, Canva and I use Chimp Mail.
Oh, MailChimp.
MailChimp.
Chimp Mail.
Yep. You know, things like that, you know, to create things and send out emails to people on my mailing list and things like that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But other than that, I really don't use a whole lot of other things. Like I don't like to schedule posts on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, just because the more research I've done, I find that they switch the algorithm so much now.
All the time.
I think you're getting dinged if you use those services now. Right. So because it's like a bot.
They want to see like
they want more authenticity
in your post, like making sure that it's an actual
person doing it. So I don't even. It's annoying, but it's one of those things that if they force you to do it by hand all the time now to keep your engagement
and
up.
Engagement, you know, I say all the time, there's some things where it's just like, you know, you automate the things that you can, but the things that you know that require you, that you have to do those things, you know, and I'm the same way. I love my engagement. I want to engage, you know, and so I know that I got to schedule that time out to do it.
Right.
No matter if I might not want to do it, but I know I got to do it.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about where you are now. So I know you got a large order largest order to date, right?
This is I've never had anyone order this many. I recently had a client that ordered 121 cups.
121.
Like about this size, fully blinged like this.
Wow.
121. I did 95 in 2 weeks. And
95 in 2 weeks. And she does these by hand.
And that's an average of 6 a day for 2 weeks straight.
Girl.
And let me tell you, I did not know I could do that many in a day.
I'm sure. You probably didn't even know you were capable.
And I knew I was fast.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize areas where I could have improved. And it wasn't until this order that I recognized where I lack.
Okay.
And
so it taught you.
It taught me a lot.
Okay.
It taught me a lot. It taught me to put my phone down. It taught me to put my phone down.
Wow.
That alone helped me tremendously. It helped me put my phone down. And I had to explain to my children mommy's here, but she's not here.
Right. Like, this is business time.
Right. This is like, I'm not
time.
Here.
Right.
So
you have to create the
if you talk to me, I'm not gonna talk back to you.
Right.
Like
because I gotta get this.
Done. Done. And I said it's temporary, and a couple of them were sad.
Yeah.
Mommy, And so I took him to Chuck E. Cheese the day before I was supposed to get started. And I'm like, here's Chuck E. Cheese.
So you're like, let's have our time, because after this, I'm all business.
And I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Literally, I'll see you in 3 weeks.
I love it. But that's what we have to do. We have to wear one hat at one time. And I love that you communicated with them like, hey, listen, we're going to have this fun, and I'm going to have my mommy hat on. But then after that, I've got to have my business hat on.
Right.
And you guys are going to have to respect, these boundaries for this amount of time.
Right.
So I think it's healthy, to
and
have that conversation.
They got to see firsthand, the work, and then they were excited because it was a celebrity client. And so then they were like, oh my gosh,
mommy's a big deal. That's right.
When can I, can I help? And I'm like, no, you can't help, because it's for a celebrity client.
Right. And mommy wants to keep
her business. Wants to keep the business. Now, my oldest did help.
Okay.
But she's an artist.
Right.
So
much older.
She's much older. She's 13. So she did help.
Okay.
But I had her help as a paid employee capacity to make it more serious for her.
Right.
So
kind of teach her.
And I said, the more you help, the more you earn.
Okay.
And so she was very like, I'm going to make this money.
Yes. Incentivize.
Yes. So, I streamlined a lot of the actual process on how I make these cups.
How you do it,
I developed new techniques. I figured out a glue that I used to hate that now I love, because I think I was using it wrong.
Right.
And now I know how to use it properly, and it increased the speed so much.
Look at that.
So I
push you.
and really this was scary, because I turned down this offer twice.
Wow.
I turned it down twice.
But they came back.
They kept coming back. And they kept coming. Well, initially I turned it down because they were lowballing me.
Okay.
And then they came back and they're like, well, how much would you charge? How much do we have to pay to get you to even accept it? And so I gave them a number, and they were like, okay, we'll pay that. And I was just like, okay, maybe that was too fast. I should have.
You're like, hold on.
Should ask for more.
Right.
Should ask for more money. What was I thinking? And so, it was 95 cups, and then the cup number kept getting higher and higher, but the time to do it kept getting shorter and shorter.
Right.
And I kept saying, like, I can't do this. Like, you guys are not giving me enough time to do it. I can't do it. And so then they added more money to the order. And so now I'm calculating, and I'm like,
I'm gonna make this happen. I can do this.
I think I can do this now.
Right.
But the back of my mind, I'm like, there's that little piece that was like, no, you can't. What are you doing?
A little bit of self-doubt.
It was, and I'm like, you can't. You're gonna rush. It's gonna be sloppy. You're gonna ruin this opportunity. They're never gonna want to work with you again.
Wow.
And I had to stop that voice and say, you have been doing these cups since your son was born.
Yeah.
He's 6 years old now.
Right.
You've been doing this for 6 years.
Right. You
know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. It's not going to, how you do hundreds of these all the time.
Yes.
Every year you do hundreds every year. Okay, so it's like 100 like in a month.
Right.
But
you got this.
So and I had to tell myself, you got it.
Yes. That's awesome.
And I literally prayed and willed my way to that 95 in 2 weeks. But I did it. And it made me, my husband was proud. The kids were proud.
You were proud.
I was proud. And I was just like, I can't believe I did it. And I just received an email from the client, and they were like, this is amazing. They look amazing. You are incredible. Yes. Can you add another one so we can put it in display?
Oh my gosh,
and so I was just like,
yes.
And so I'm like, all that, and then I fell asleep for
for another year.
Yes. I literally fell asleep for like 20 hours.
Like, I haven't slept in 3 weeks and I'm about to sleep for 2 days.
I slept. Because when I tell you I was getting 2 hours sleep.
Oh my gosh.
But it made me realize that pushing through that fear.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing through that fear that, because this was more palpable than leaving corporate America.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what if because I recognize every opportunity this can lead to another one.
Exactly, a stepping stone to whatever might be next, whatever that is.
And so, because now my husband's like, now that you've done it and they know you can do it in this short amount of time, are you prepared to do it again?
To do it again. And they're going to want you to do it again because now they see that you can do it. That
I can do it. Right, and so I'm like, I think I can do it again. I'll probably institute more
different things
that to help me the next time around.
Right, which is smart.
It's
like
smart.
You're learning, and I think that's what is so cool about being, a mompreneur is that you literally are learning in both worlds,
right?
Your professional and your personal world, but it's making you better. Like each and every time, you're rising to the occasion.
Right.
So. Okay, so this is the moment you guys been waiting for because I know you guys are waiting with bated breath to know how do you get your hands on some of this fabulousness.
And I show this because this is how this boot started.
Yes.
Just totally black. And then I add all the pearls and the rhinestones.
I'm ordering me some of these. I'm going to be rocking these.
And these can be done in any color.
They are amazing. Yes.
There's so many different colors you can get this stuff in.
So tell them how they can order. Where can they go to order some of this fabulousness?
I do everything. Anything and everything. So if you have something that's like extremely unique, because I've done basketballs for people. I've done Keurig coffee machines for people. Hard hats.
Oh, wow.
Just people have things that they need done for whatever reason they want them done.
Occasion, yeah.
So the offshoot things, the things that are just really unique, I don't have a listing or anything for those things because it's truly customized. So if you have something that's truly custom, something that maybe you already own that you want crystallized, you can email me directly. At shiningsouls@hotmail.com
or @hotmail.com.
I also have a Facebook. My Facebook is Shining Souls. Instagram is Shining_Souls. So
yes,
just
check out her Instagram page because she puts all her products out there.
Most of them,
a lot of them, and they're phenomenal. And you can get a real good. I feel like you can get a real good.
You get a real good
of
vibe.
What you can do,
because my Instagram,
it's a good variety,
and Facebook shows the
depth.
Variety. Because when I say I do a lot of everything, I do a lot of everything. I started off primarily with shoes, and it kind of meander because people will just come to you with different requests
of what they want
I've done walking canes, I've done eye patches.
But how awesome is that? Because those all have special meaning, I'm sure,
right,
to the individual, right?
And so but the cups, I know you're saying how did I sustain the cups? Actually, I knew early on, like trends in fashion change because the shoes were hot. The heels were hot, and they're not as popular anymore.
Okay, but it shifted to the cups.
It shifted, and I approached it strategically. And I remember just sitting on the couch, pad to paper, and thinking of like, what is something that people don't even think about spending money on, and they do it every single day, and it's just extra cash that you don't even care that you're just dropping money on. Right. And I immediately thought of Starbucks.
That's true.
Because you have people who just will go every single day. They are die hard.
Look, I raised my hand, guilty.
And they don't care how much it costs.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they're not cheap.
No, you could easily spend $5 to $8
on a drink.
On a drink at Starbucks every single day.
And that was the key. It had to be something that was low enough but expensive that you do all the time.
All the time, yes.
And so I thought if they can spend $5 to $8 a day,
yes,
which is $35 to like what $56
$50
a week.
Yeah.
and that translates to how much per month
Then they
over the course of the
get us
year.
up.
When you that really adds up to
Yeah.
a lot of money. And I'm like, if they have that kind of money, they definitely could spend money on a cup,
Right.
that they can then take to Starbucks,
Right.
and get their refill, get their discount, and now you are in Starbucks with something that no one else has.
Right.
Because
right.
every time you walk out the door with that, everyone stops you,
Exactly. And they're going to notice.
and they're gonna notice, and they're gonna be like, Starbucks doesn't sell. No,
Right.
they don't
Where'd
sell.
you get
Where'd
that
you
from?
get it from?
That's right.
Where'd you get it from?
Leads to more business for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love the fact that you thought that through and thought through the supply and demand and the sustainability of it. Like, this is never going to go out of style because people love their drinks.
They love their drinks.
So tell us, I want you to leave everyone with one last piece of advice. I know I've got some mompreneurs out there, as well as some aspiring mompreneurs who are probably thinking about, wow, they love, I hope you guys are inspired, because, the fact that this is something India started and didn't even realize this was
Right.
like even where she would be, shows you really truly that you can do this. You can, whatever your passion is. But I want her to leave us with some advice for anyone who is thinking about starting their business.
My main advice would be, whatever you're passionate about, go for it. Don't let other people deter you from doing it. Don't let family members try to make your business seem little, because they will, especially if you're a mompreneur that works from home, you're gonna get people that are like, you're kept, you don't really make any money,
Right.
your husband pays for everything,
Right.
if you're married,
yeah,
what do you're not busy, you got time,
exactly.
what are you
They don't
doing?
take it seriously.
Do you make money? How much money are you really making? Do you pay taxes? You probably don't, because you don't make enough money.
Right.
Like, you will get a lot of crazy stuff from people,
Just coming
and so
at
you just
sideways.
block everybody. It's none of their business how much money you make or you
Right.
don't make. I let the work speak for itself,
Speak for itself.
because
I know that's right.
I produce a lot every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, they realize you are doing something.
Yes.
You obviously are making money, because you're
Yes.
producing every single day.
Right.
And if you just stay focused on you and what you do, it will take you that much further.
Yeah.
And don't stay so rigid to your plan, because you never know
How it's gonna
where it's going to meander.
take
Because you have, like, I feel like when you first start, your vision is not as large as
it could be. Yeah.
until you really get into it and get some years into it.
Absolutely.
Because, I do this, but I also teach classes on my website, and I'm going to be expanding into selling supplies as well. All things that I didn't intend on
to do it
but
first.
as you see multiple, if you can figure out multiple streams of income from that first passion,
Yep. It's like a domino
it's a
effect.
domino effect.
Yeah.
And so you can, now my big scheme thing is to be like the Vera Bradley of bling in Fort Wayne.
Yes. Come on now.
So
just dream
manufacturing
big. Yes.
everything. I want to manufacture my own rhinestones, my
Yes.
own glue. Like, it's so much bigger now.
Yeah, so much bigger. That's right. So don't sell yourself short. You, like she said, you can, you have no idea where your vision will take you, but you just got to start.
Oh, and let me add another thing. This is very important. I received the largest, most lucrative contract in my career 6 years after I made an official career.
Right.
It's not going to be overnight.
Right.
And you don't
That's
have
good.
to have 50,000 followers.
That's good.
Because I think I have like 66, 63, under 7,000 followers.
Right.
And it took me 6 years to get there.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a ton of people. If you produce quality work, people will find
That's
you.
what I was about to say. As long as it's quality work, people will find you.
They will find you.
Yeah.
And so don't be discouraged by the low follower count. Most of your best clients won't follow you.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Listen, I know we could sit here and talk all day, because I love what you've shared. She has dropped so many nuggets, and your story is just phenomenal. I mean, I'm still in awe of how she does this, because I don't know that I would be able to do it, but I love it, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's something that you can use, in your day-to-day life. So again, look India up if you are wanting to grab something for the holidays just in time for Christmas. To look her up, but make sure you do it early, because you already heard her say it's 6 weeks processing. Okay, so get in where you
for Christmas.
She's like, you might want to order today.
You probably will need to order today.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me on another episode of The Eventful Life. Remember, you can have everything you want, but on your terms and on your time. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye.